Raise of hands. Wow, only a couple. How many people want to go to Antarctica? Well, Antarctica is a pretty amazing place, and my wife works for an adventure travel company. They're having their holiday party over in the Rembrandt right now, and that's why I got to go there in early 2009. This is actually South Georgia. As Andrew mentioned, Alek Komarnitsky, website www.komar.org. I'm a middle-aged suburbanite dude, wife, 2 kids, pretty boring. Minor claim to fame is the controllable Christmas lights for celiac disease. So if anyone in the audience has an iPhone, probably everybody, you can turn the lights on and off in my house right now if you want to go online. Do it afterwards, please. If you go to Antarctica, most people kick off from South America. You fly all the way down to Ushuaia, you get on a ship, and then what I did was a triangular route, going to the Falklands, South Georgia, down to Antarctica, and then back up to Ushuaia. Total of 19 days on a ship. It's a long time, but fortunately the time went pretty fast. There was a lot of interesting onboard lectures, a lot of interesting things to see, and fortunately the water wasn't quite as rough as it sometimes can be. Our first stop was the Falklands. We actually went north from Ushuaia and east. What's notable about this picture is, you can probably tell from the wide-angle perspective, I'm about 2 feet away from this albatross. Animals have no fear of humans. They're very friendly. They come right up to you. From the Falklands, we then continued east and a little bit south down to South Georgia. Typical Zodiac landing in South Georgia, you just kind of rumble up to the beach, king penguins that kind of waddle out of the way, and then they just go back. I mean, after all, it's their beach. South Georgia was pretty darn amazing. Another stop was a place called Stromness Harbor. For those of you who know the Shackleton story, this plays a key role. And the temperature here, as you can probably guess from the picture, it was about mid-60s, nice, calm, peaceful, serene. And then about 2 minutes after this picture was taken, a skua swooped in. And what it did was it attacked a Gentoo penguin. Now, there were a couple of adult Gentoo penguins close by, and we all kept saying, come on, guys, get in there, man, take that skua out. But unfortunately, they didn't, and the skua got dinner. And that's reality in nature. Sometimes it's cruel. Taking pictures was kind of fun down there. I took about 10,000 pictures. I only get 20 today. This is a camera on a remote wireless. I would just put it down, and seals and everything would come by. This particular fur seal, I think, decided that my lens needed a little bit of cleaning, so he came by and polished it up. It's not every day that your camera gets slimed by a fur seal in South Georgia. Another self-portrait is I would sometimes just put the camera down, and I would just sit down. And I did bring a Frisbee down to Antarctica, and we did throw some discs down there. I didn't bring a football. That's too bad, because I think a football would have made this picture kind of nice right here. Again, you can see in the scenery back there, just absolutely amazing. Another self-portrait right here, this time in the eye of a macaroni penguin. This is still South Georgia. You can tell because of the greenery. You'll see in a moment when we go to Antarctica, there's no more greenery. So just a huge number of animals, not only the diversity, but sheer numbers. Speaking of that, if you're into icebergs, I could show you 10,000 pictures of icebergs, and none of them would look the same. Just iceberg central, left and right. So now from South Georgia, we've turned, we're going west, we're going south. The climate's getting a little bit colder. About halfway down is a place called the South Orkney Islands. This is a fun little picture standing on the open ship. Waves are coming pretty strong, about a 50-knot wind. Photoshop is good to get your levels horizon. This is a sunrise. The next morning, the winds abated, very calm, peaceful. The boat was going nice and slow. You could literally hear the penguins and birds before you could see them. It was just such a glorious introduction to Antarctica as we motored in there. Our first stop was a place called Brown Bluff. We spent 3 days down Antarctica. This is a Gentoo penguin. As you can see, once again, they just come right up to you, very friendly and very inquisitive, want to know what you're doing. Who's that annoying camera guy that's taking pictures of me? When you're in the Zodiacs, you also see wildlife. This is a leopard seal. Leopard seals have been known on a few occasions to attack Zodiacs, but in this case, he was just curious, wanted to come by and check things out. Now, one tradition when you're down in Antarctica is something called the polar plunge. And that salt water was probably about 28 degrees Fahrenheit, so they didn't stay in too long. There was probably a lot of shrinkage, but they had a good time right there. So after a couple days in Antarctica, it was time to go home. This is the last view I had as we're steaming away. Again, a very nice day. And 2.5 days later, after crossing the Drake Passage, we got to Ushuaia on the morning of February 10th. There's an epilogue to my trip in that the Ocean Nova left that evening with another group of passengers, and a week later it ran aground in Margarita Bay. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but everyone had to be transferred to another ship. That's a little more adventure than I would like. So if you're interested in seeing more pictures of Antarctica, you can go out to my website, www.comar.org, and see more than you ever want to see. And now you can turn your iPhones on and turn my Christmas lights on and off. Thank you.